Hi, it's Dr. Parikh, and today we're just going over what's coming up in Module 2. So every week I start off with just a friendly little, hey, what's coming up? As a reminder, the weekly checklist is always a great way to keep on track because honestly, Blackboard is not great at telling you what you've already done and what still needs to get done. So the first part of this page just tells you what we're focused on, so understanding your literature reading, understanding, and organizing your articles. So that's what this week is really about. You're trying to figure out you have found at least some, hopefully soon all of your articles, but you're trying to explore them and figure out what they're really saying. The readings, last week you read several pages in this document that we as a faculty have kind of added to over time, but now you're just going to read like a section or two each day or each week. You'll keep reading Writing with Style and the Concise Rules. Your videos, there's, I think, not quite as many videos as there were last week. There's a lot about Suchman. Some of them are just sort of extras, but I want you to watch the videos because I thought it was important enough to say something about it. But you don't need to read the chapters directly. You can just look there, flip through it to see what's in there so that you know when you might need to go look at it. And then the appendix is a sample manuscript. Again, you don't have to read it word for word, but it's really good to flip through and get a sense that it's there and know that, for example, if you're stuck on how to write an abstract, there's a sample abstract. Now the assignments. So I'm going to actually click in here. Now, if you are looking as a student and you only see what's in pink here, that's a big red flag, or I guess a pink flag, because it means that you have not finished your APA plagiarism quiz. You have not gotten 10 out of 10 on it. And I require that because I want to make sure that you and I are very clear that we are on the same page about what plagiarism is. Because I take plagiarism very seriously. I especially take word for word plagiarism very seriously, but I will, if I notice that you're paraphrasing too closely to the original, I'll tell you it's a problem. And if you don't follow up on it, that's not going to be a great situation either. So I want to be very clear at the beginning so that everybody knows what plagiarism is, because it's your responsibility. It's up to you to make sure you're not plagiarizing, even if it's by accident. So the first discussion question is your reading roles. This is similar to what you did last week. You might be the reporter, and if you are, all you have to do is respond to 3 posts. The first post is due by Tuesday, and you have to finish by Wednesday. That's really quick because then you have a discussion with the whole class that's going to, the reporter for your group is going to summarize about what your group talked about, what was most interesting or meaningful. They're going to summarize that to the whole class. So you'll have reports from 2 or 3 other groups to read, and then if you are not the reporter, this time you do 3 responses. So in each of these posts, you're going to make 3 posts total, but it just depends. In one of them, you're going to do 1 post and 2 responses, and the other, you're going to do 3 responses, depending on whether you have a job in that forum. This is the first week we're doing it this way, and just like last week where you were trying out the reading roles and I gave you feedback about whether you were doing it the way I was hoping, this week I'm going to go kind of gentle and just try to help you figure out the process. And after this, it should be pretty straightforward and old hat. The next 2, like most of our discussions, are small group. You're going to do a check-in, and then you're going to do your first writing workshop. A big purpose of these groups is to help you learn how to revise your writing. And it is not showing me the description. This is good to know. You have to go to the discussion board, I guess, to actually see the description of things. So here you can see writing workshop, post a paraphrase you're working on. So somewhere where you're trying to put something from your article into your own words. And you're going to include, so you're going to copy the original. You're going to copy what you've paraphrased. You're going to include your citation and your reference. And so that gives other people a lot of things to give you feedback on. And it's up to you how vulnerable you want to be. If you want to do something you're pretty confident about to start with, that's fine. But this is really meant to be a place where you can post things you're struggling with and you can get advice from other people. And remember, I'm reading all of these posts. I'm going to be floating around and commenting sometimes too, so it might be a good way to get some feedback from me too. So this week there's only 4 discussion board posts. Normally after this, there's going to be 6. The first 3, like we described with the check-in and the reading groups. And then after that, it's all going to be different writing workshops where I'll tell you post from this. So it'll usually be 1 thing from the literature review and 2 things from other assignments that you're working on. You will do another piece of work in, remember this orange book, the things that are orange go in the orange book. It looks long, but it really shouldn't take too terribly long. You're going to do some more APA quizzes. Most of these are just multiple choice. You can immediately see your scores, I think. I think that's the way I have it set. You can definitely see your score. I think you can immediately see all the answers too. If there's an open-ended question, remember that I need a little time to grade it, but I recommend taking it over and over until you're confident that you've got all the multiple choice right. And just kind of copy and paste the same open-ended answer in each time until I can grade it and give you feedback on that. Now you're going to submit the rest of your articles. Your final paper needs a minimum of 4 to 5 peer-reviewed articles. I have you find 6 because what I find is that most students have an article that doesn't play nice with the others, but when they really dig into it. And so if you find 6, that means you can have a complete dud and not have to go look for any more articles. Because if I have you find exactly the right amount, if even 1 doesn't work out for you, you have to go find more, and that's stressful for you. And there's also a risk that you won't show it to me, or you'll take too long to show it to me, and it'll end up not fitting the requirements for this paper. That's why you're submitting all your articles, so I can check to make sure they're what they need to be. You're also going to upload your reference page. You're going to get a lot of feedback on that. The reference page keeps getting graded in some other assignments, but you'll get less and less detailed feedback as we go, because I've already given you the details, and at that point you should be able to just use the resources to figure it out. There's different software you can find that will help you with your citations. The library will generate citations, but there are mistakes with those. With the library, occasionally the journal article title is, it should just, the first word be capitalized. Sometimes they capitalize others. The journal title, so that's like the magazine versus the article. So the journal title should have all the important words capitalized. The library website capitalizes all of them. So like or, and, of, the, these small article words or prepositions that should be lowercase. So I can usually tell when people have copied from the library without looking. And you also have to update the DOIs to be the link style. Because I think that's, and I require the link style, both are technically acceptable, the DOIs : or the http://doi.org/. They're both fine according to APA. I require the link style because I suspect that as time goes on, APA is going to start requiring the link style because it just makes more sense. The whole purpose of the DOI is to be a permalink. You're also going to start your article notes, and I showed you last week how to do article notes. I'm going to talk a little more this week about how to find those main themes. And first, on Wednesday, you're going to submit 2 of them, and then I'll give you feedback so that you don't have to do the whole set and then find out, I've been doing them wrong. So you do 2, I grade them, I give you feedback. You can email me questions if you want, or come meet with me. And then Sunday, you upload 3 more. So you have to give me references for 6 articles, but you only have to do article notes for 5. So you can find out right from the beginning one of them is not playing nice. Or if they all are working, you can just do all 6. It's not a big deal. One of the big things this week is a concept map, and I'll show you how to do that. This is, students often love this part of the class because it helps them organize their ideas in a way that no other classes helps them do. That's one of the things that sets this approach apart, is I'm helping you, I'm structuring the process of actually finding the commonalities and figuring out how do you integrate ideas, because we can say that a lot as faculty, but it's really hard to know how to do that until someone shows you some strategies. And then last, we're going to start looking at, even though we're really at the very beginning of the literature review, we're already need to be thinking about the research proposal, because if you wait until after the literature review is done, it's a big shift, and then you'll have this sort of mismatch where you'll have this broad literature review and then you suddenly narrow your focus in for this research proposal. This way you can really start your research proposal or start your literature review with some directions in mind. So I have videos to help with a lot of these different assignments along the way. Yeah, I'll be looking in, I'll be giving you feedback, and as soon as, if you're having trouble reading your articles, doing the notes, talk with me. If you cannot figure out the concept map, talk with me. Next week, I believe, is when we do the outlines. The outlines are the definite, like, if you are not on top of this, come see me now. Because once you get behind on the outlines, it's tough to catch up. But generally, if people can get a good outline in, they usually turn in a decent paper. So the outline seems to be a really critical step. All right, I'll see you soon.